Hello, beautiful, wonderful people. We're here today talking about the neuroscience and the physics behind intuition. Now, there's a lot to cover, so I'm going to move quickly. The, One of the first things I want to mention is the work done by the HeartMath Institute. The HeartMath Institute is able to show empirically, scientifically based studies that demonstrate that the heart generates an electromagnetic field and that this electromagnetic field is able to receive and pick up information from the electromagnetic fields generated by other hearts and other sources such as the earth. The earth itself generates an electromagnetic pulse called the Schumann resonance. And the Schumann resonance is usually about 7.8 hertz, basically around the 7 hertz, which happens to be the same amount of hertz in which the heart and the mind or the brain come into coherence. Coherence is a very, very important term for the work that I'm going to be describing. Now, coherence is basically when when the pulse, the breath, and your mind are in sync. It basically means that the functions of the body are in harmony with one another. And this harmony, which happens via entrainment within the system, is generates or amplifies the system. That is to say that imagine like sound, when there's two sounds that are not in harmony, it creates like a dissonance. But when there's two sounds that are in perfect harmony, it amplifies that sound, it amplifies that frequency. So if you heard someone singing and then singing a note all by themselves, that's not going to be that loud. But if two or three or four people are singing that very same note, then you get that signal, which is the frequency of that note, that pitch, much, much more amplified. And the same thing happens with the electromagnetic field that your body, which is your instrument, is generating at all times. So what we want is to establish that level of coherence. Another thing that's really important to understand is that the right side of your brain is the part of your brain that's able to access information through this field. It's the part of your brain that generates what's called a field antenna. Now, most of the antennas that we use in our technology you see the shape of the antenna, but usually the actual antenna, the actual thing that's picking up the information, is a field that is generated by the structure which you see that looks like a little disc. That is generating a field, and the field itself is what's picking up the non-physical information, right? It's a non-physical mechanism to pick up non-physical information, just the way that our brain and heart generate this antenna. When the right brain is active, you're able to tune into the heart. When the left brain is dominant, and which happens very often in our culture due to the fact that we're in a survival-based culture, fight or flight-based culture, the left side of the brain has become very dominant in our culture, and it's very dominant in most people. So when that left side of the brain, when you're able to calm your system, enter a state of trust, which is likened to grounding the antenna, then you're no longer in this fight or flight. You're able to really be present because you're grounded. You're plugged into the earth, which is your power source. Once you have that power source and you're in coherence with the earth via the 7.8 hertz that I was talking about entrainment, the left side of the brain subsides. It's no longer trying to do the math on what the next move should be, on whether or not there's a threat or an opportunity around. It's just calm. It's just chilling out. And then that allows for the heart field and the right side of the brain to project this field antenna and actually perceive directly information from the quantum universe. Therefore, it's actually perceiving reality as it is rather than through a filter of the past, which is what the left side of the brain does. The left side of the brain has all the programming from your subconscious, from your childhood years, from your culture, and all these beliefs that don't allow it to take on any information which doesn't match its present beliefs. The only way to create and download new programs and operate with a new and better reality is through the intuition, the right side of the brain, by allowing yourself to be still enough to enter into a resonance, a harmonic resonance with the planet, and tuning into divine or cosmic. When I say divine, I simply mean those frequencies which are in harmony with the rest of creation. That's what divinity is. Now, so a lot of these religious concepts are just old school way of explaining something that we didn't have science for, through parables and stuff. So I think this is enough for one video. I'm gonna make another video. There's another one of these that's already made that's a little lengthier, and then there's gonna be a third part. But basically, understanding that allowing the right brain to be active and in coherence with the left brain, where the left brain is still operational, but it's not dominant. You have coherence, you have harmony, you have balance between the two brains, and then you have coherence with the heart. That allows for this antenna for the intuition to receive what I describe as proto-consciousness, or what Stuart Hameroff and or theory of consciousness describe as basically the consciousness or the information which resides in the fabric of space-time. And again, that's another scientific concept which is bridging a lot of our understandings of what we have thought to be mystical or religious things with actual science, empirical-based science. Any questions are welcome. I hope that you will share, like, comment. I am very excited about this material. It's very powerful. It allows us to basically create a new reality, to reprogram ourselves in a very rapid way, which is basically what Geotran does. Geotran is a way to really use this information and apply it to create rapid transformation in your life. And so that's just the greatest news ever. I'm very thrilled to be able to share this work with you, and feel free to contact me anytime, questions, sessions, or work that you would like to do or share with me. I'm always happy to hear and learn and share. Many blessings. Satnam.